The clarity quest. Imagine a world without but. Ideas. Everything starts with an idea, and an idea can change everything. Take a look around you. What do you see? A book? A chair? A light bulb? The building we're in? Everything you see started as an idea in someone's imagination. Ideas are powerful gifts we all have. They make this world a more interesting place. So what do you do when you've got a head full of ideas? You've got thoughts, hopes and dreams which only you can see. You want to move forward and take action, but you feel stuck and overwhelmed. You lose clarity, focus and direction, and you end up going round and round in circles, and you just don't know how to make it happen. Well, I'd love to share with you the secrets I've discovered over the last 3 decades of helping people to achieve their dreams and transform their ideas into reality. How to unlock your imagination and tap into your creativity, and overcome the 3 roadblocks that you'll encounter along the way. Because the clue is in the word you say to yourself when inspiration strikes. Your self-talk will determine if your ideas become reality. So today, I'd like you to join me on the quest to create clarity and change the way you think about ideas. Because everyone is creative and everyone has a superpower, guaranteed. Have you ever said, "But I'm not creative"? Well, who planted that idea in your mind? Because we are all creative, but in different ways. And there was a time in your life when you were creative, when you were a child. Children aren't afraid to explore ideas. Children aren't afraid to live in the world of their imagination. And children aren't afraid to ask why. All you need to do is to tap into your childlike curiosity, because your imagination is a powerful source of inspiration. I like to think about ideas as seeds which form in your imagination, but not every idea comes to fruition. Some ideas can float off and they can be forgotten, or you can drown them in a sea of negativity. So I believe that ideas should be planted like seeds because they're the foundations to everything. Give them the opportunity to grow in the land of possibilities, and they will flourish and they will shine. By exploring ideas, you can come up with creative solutions. However, it's really important to first focus on the vision. When you know your destination and what you want to achieve, you can then work backwards and map out the steps you need to take. I wonder how many people spend more time planning their holiday than they do their big life vision. I've always brought ideas to life by sketching them onto paper and capturing them onto screen. Because your mind should be a place for generating ideas. It shouldn't be a place for storing them. So by capturing them, by writing them down and thinking through my hand, what I'm able to do is clarify the vision and the concept and visually communicate that to others. I've always loved maps and plans. They give you a glimpse, they act like a window into real and imaginary worlds. And when I was a child, my 2 favourite books were Millie Molly Mandy and Winnie the Pooh. What they both had was at the front of the book there was a map. So I would read the stories and I would follow the characters' journeys and adventures around the village and in 100 Acre Wood. And then for 25 years I had my dream job. So I worked for Santa Claus and I designed Christmas displays for all of the major shopping centres in the UK and in Europe. With each project, I'd begin by looking at a map, a plan of the shopping centre, and then I'd look at the photographs, and in my mind I would build an image of what the space looked like. The next step was I would map out all of the ideas so that I could look at the information, come up with creative connections and possibilities to come up with solutions. And then after I'd mapped out the ideas, I would create a plan of the display, a plan of the design, and then I'd visualize what that would look like so I could show other people what that idea was meant to look like. So I planted that idea in the mind of other people who were part of the journey too. Over the process of delivering thousands of projects, of course, we encountered roadblocks along the way. So during the design, the build, the manufacturing process, yes, of course, we encountered things. However, we all knew the vision we were working to, and because we had a plan of action, we could focus on that and achieve our goals. So if you want to build something, create something, visualize something, go on a journey, or even a quest to find hidden treasure, you always begin with a map or a plan. Maps and plans act like a bridge between the world of your imagination and the real world. They allow you to see the big picture without losing sight of the detail. Maps and plans bring hopes, thoughts, and ideas to life. They transform you from being a dreamer into a doer. So, what is it that you want to do? Have you ever thought, oh, I'd love to do this? And then did you say, but? I'd love to do this, but. Have you ever done that? Because a simple but, it will kill your ideas, it will destroy your dream, and it will squash your vision. This is the first roadblock you need to overcome to realise your dream. So instead of thinking, I'd love to do this, but, think about, I'd love to do this because. The word because, it's empowering, it's your passion. 20 years ago, I did Imagineering at the Disney Institute, and Walt Disney knew that you can't come up with an idea and analyse the practicalities of it at the same time because they need two different mindsets. So when you replace but with because, you go from a problem-focused mindset to a solution-focused mindset. You allow your ideas the ability to grow, and you've tapped into your passion. So the next step that you might take is you might start thinking about, well, how am I going to do this? Have you ever thought that? How am I going to do this? And then given up. If you focus on how at this stage, you will kill your idea, you'll destroy your dream, and you'll squash your vision. So imagine, instead of focusing on how, focus on why. And tap into your childlike curiosity. Because children ask, why? They don't ask how. And the world's greatest inventors, they believed in their dream before it was practically feasible. So, for example, the Wright brothers, they knew that they wanted to fly. They didn't know how they were going to fly. They couldn't have known how they were going to fly because they hadn't invented it yet. So they focused on why they wanted to fly, and their idea changed the world. So your because is your passion, which gets you started. Your why is your purpose, which keeps you going. And the how will be revealed along the journey. On the road to success, you may encounter rejection, that horrible feeling when self-doubt and imposter syndrome kicks in and you feel like giving up. Well, rejection is the third roadblock you need to overcome, because rejection will kill your ideas, it'll destroy your dream, and it'll squash your vision. I've felt that horrible feeling of rejection too, and it's just awful. You feel like giving up. But I've found a way to overcome that, because it's important to reflect and look at different alternatives and take a different route. However, rejection has a way of teaching us something. It can redirect us to something more powerful. So I now reframe rejection as redirection. And if you think about it that way, it'll get you back on your path. Now, the strange thing is, the opposite to rejection can feel uncomfortable too. So if somebody admires what you do and thinks that it's brilliant, have you ever had it where somebody's gone, wow, I love what you do? And then have you replied, oh, it's just? Well, the clue is in the word just, because they've seen in you something that you don't see in yourself. They've actually hit upon one of your superpowers. That thing that you just do, which comes naturally to you, and you don't think it's special. It is. It's your special gift, which you've got to share with the world. Take, for example, what I'm doing today, these doodles that I've done. Well, just over a year ago, I was at an event and I was doodling, and I often do that. It's the way that I capture information visually so that I can remember the ideas and the information shared. And at this event, the speaker saw my visual notes and came across and said, wow, I love what you do. Are you going to share that on social media? And I replied, no, it's just rubbish. And then I realized they saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, because other people said, yeah, you're going to share that on social media. It's amazing. It's brilliant. And I thought, well, why did I think that was rubbish? What planted that seed of self-doubt in my mind? I thought about this, and for 25 years I was a studio manager. And of course, to get the ideas out of my head, I would doodle them onto paper. And then I would give those little sketches to the amazing, talented illustrators who would produce the final illustration. So when they did that, of course, they would get my drawing, they would crumple it up, and they would throw it in the bin. So it became rubbish. But I realized actually it wasn't rubbish, because it had served a purpose. It had planted that idea that I had in my mind into somebody else's. So I decided to embrace my vulnerability, and I started to share my doodles, and I'm actually quite surprised at what I'm doing today. So I've discovered that my secret superpower is as a visual communicator. But what about you? Whether or not you believe it yet, you are creative and you do have a superpower. Your superpower is made out of your life experience, your knowledge, your wisdom, your insights, your passion, your values. It's what makes you you. So, what I'd like you now to do is to close your eyes and imagine your world without but. What is it that you'd really love to do? And then replace but with because. Instead of thinking about how, think about why. And then if you face rejection, well, reframe that as redirection. And listen out for that word just, because that could reveal your secret superpower. Now, I'd like you to open your eyes, and I'd like you to embrace your ideas. I want you to go out and explore the universe of creativity and plant your ideas in the land of possibility. Because when you follow the quest to create clarity, you will realize your dreams. Because everything starts with an idea. And an idea can change everything. An idea can change the world.